McGregor Mayweather, it's happening. The press conferences happened. They were all right. That third one, real iffy, real iffy. The other three were okay. I thought the second one and the fourth one were the best. But I'm so pissed off about all the bullshit that's out there with the mainstream companies like ESPN, Fox Sports, these companies who have guys who have no idea what they're talking about, speaking on this fight, and this is what everyone, the non-educated public sees. So now there's this just aura of bullshit that's out there. I still have to bench press, but in between sets, because I got a solid 3 minutes in between sets, I'm going to give you reasons as to why I'm so pissed off about the bullshit that's out there. Excuse me 1 second. That felt pretty good, so that's a plus. But McGregor Mayweather, I hear so much stuff. Like, I saw a video today of Colin Cowherd talking about this, how it's like a 16 seed beating a 1 seed, like Winthrop beating Kentucky, or the 170th ranked tennis player beating Rafael Nadal or Roger Federer. That's bullshit. Colin Cowherd has probably watched some boxing in his day, probably never seen an MMA fight in his life, probably never seen Conor McGregor fight, and he probably just listened to the opinion of some other blowjob who said the same shit. The boxing experts, they spew this same garbage just because I think they know that their sport is dying. And if Conor McGregor was to somehow beat Floyd Mayweather, like, they don't want to believe it, but if he was to somehow do it, it would probably put the nail in their coffin, unless he stayed in boxing. But they don't, like Freddie Roach. Oh, he's got no. Have you ever seen him? Like, have you ever seen him fight? Like, these people that say he has no chance. Like, I get it. It's a different sport, kind of. But if you've ever just seen Conor McGregor throw hands, his hands are so precise and they're so accurate. And he doesn't, like, he's not coming over the top. Like, you know, he can come over the top to find, if that's what he needs to do to find your chin, like, he'll do that. But, like, he throws better hands than most professional boxers. Like, it's not like he's some scrub, and it's not like it's a completely different thing. It's not, I used the analogy the other day, it's not like I'm saying, or you're saying Michael Phelps, you're bringing him out of the pool from a completely different sport and throwing him against Floyd Mayweather. It's a guy who, boxing is, I mean, he stands on his feet most of the time, and it's a big part of the sport, and I get it. Floyd is one of the best of all time, but currently this Floyd at 40 years old, is he really still one of the best of all time? Like, that's my question. I'm not saying Conor McGregor's going to win. I give him about a 10 to 15% chance of winning, which still means I think Mayweather's going to win. Like, on paper, Mayweather should win, but there are a lot of unknowns that, I mean, I'm not going to know until I see the first round of the fight. And, like, no one else out there is going to see. If he comes out and bum rushes Floyd, which some people think he should, like, that's probably not his best game plan, because Floyd, even though he's 40, his reaction time might not be as quick, but I'm not going to bank on that. Like, so if you come at him, you're going to tire yourself out throwing bombs. He's going to be dodging and ducking like he does. He'll land some good shots, but you can't rush him. But are you telling me, and I like these guys, like, I listen to guys, excuse me 1 sec, I gotta do another set of bench press. That was the timer. I want to go for a 6, but you'll see me drop that on my chest, and I'm not willing to do that. But are you telling me that if this dude, who, let's be honest, why he's so good in MMA is because he's so awkward and people can't figure him out. And this is in a sport where you're not going to see the same style over and over again. Like, boxers pretty much have the same style, the same stance, everything is the same. Like, little minute details might be here and there. Like, obviously, there are going to be some people that angle out and move better than other boxers, but how they stand, a lot of them are going to be very similar. MMA, you have a lot of guys that do a lot of different things. Stances are different. You got the karate stances, you got the traditional boxer, you got the wrestlers who don't know what the fuck to do when they're standing up, most of them. But you're telling me, the guy with the bigger reach, if he comes in, if Conor McGregor was to come in, and this would make for a boring fight, and this is why I don't think he would do it, but you listen to like MMA guys like Justin Perillo, like a Duke Rufus, and I agree with him. You keep your MMA range, you keep that range. He comes in and keeps that range, right? Is Floyd gonna jab him up? No, because he's gotta actually take a bigger step, and Conor's got that reach, so he's just gonna pop the jab out there if he was. But if he keeps that MMA range and just kind of throws shots out there, figure out the distance, isn't really kind of gearing up for any of them, and makes Floyd kind of initiate the offense, do you think that that's not going to be a work to Conor McGregor's favor, who's also, everyone's like, oh, Floyd's a counterpuncher. That's what Conor McGregor is too. So if he uses MMA range, brings that element that he could, he's not obviously going to throw elbows or kicks or anything like that, but if he brings that element into it, just the distance element, the one thing that he could bring in, along with the clinch work, which I think the referee's going to break that up real quick, because I think obviously they're going to be told, I think the referee's going to be told that if it gets to the clinch, don't let it go. They're really going to try to. I don't think they necessarily need to, but again, I think they know what all the boxing experts know. If Conor McGregor wins this, it's not good for boxing. So I think they're going to, the referee, if you even see it in a clinch, go break it up real quick. I don't think they're going to let it go on very long where Conor can land some good punches and wear on him. But if you're telling me that he doesn't make him play his game, bring this element into it, the MMA distance, and makes Floyd come to him and then do what you do from there, you think he doesn't have a chance to win? But see, you don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know how Floyd's going to look. Let's be honest. I'm going to say it right now. Floyd has not fought anyone in their prime in a long time. And you could say the two biggest, he fought Manny Pacquiao 4 years past the point where Manny Pacquiao would have beaten him or would have given him a damn good run. I think Pacquiao would have beat him, and I think Floyd knew that, and that's why Floyd ducked him, and then Manny lost a couple, and then Floyd's like, oh yeah, I'll fight you now, guy. I gotta do my last set. That sucked. But, if you're telling me, and the other one people are going to throw out there, I understand why, Canelo's a beast, but yeah, Floyd fought Canelo Alvarez when he was 20 years old, before the public knew who he was. Now you ask a random person who doesn't really follow boxing, isn't real into it, they'll know who Canelo Alvarez is. No one really knew who he was. He was a 20-year-old kid who was undefeated. And Floyd knew, bet your ass, Floyd knew that I better fight this guy now, because he's an up-and-comer, we could sell this, but if I fight him in 2 or 3 years, I'm probably not going to beat him. Believe me, Floyd knew that. Floyd knew that, or he was going to have a way harder time fighting him after he got experience. Yes, he did have 30 pro fights when he fought him, he was experienced, but he didn't fight any big, if you gave him time to fight higher-up guys, and then fight Floyd when he was 23, Floyd's probably losing that fight too. And Floyd, right now at 40, people are like, he's the best boxer in the game. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. Any of the 5 weight classes, you take the top 5, and believe me, I don't watch boxing. I'm I watch everything MMA, Bellator, I'll watch everything. Every UFC thing that they do. But if you're saying, you give me the top 5 of the 5 weight classes that Floyd was the champion of, I think there are guys that are going to beat him now. That he's fighting Conor McGregor because he thinks Conor McGregor is going to be an easy fight. Most money he's going to make. He's not going to fight a killer. He wouldn't fight Canelo now for $50 million and a very good chance of him losing. But don't go out there. It's guys like Colin Cowherd, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless. I heard Rob Parker yesterday. Rob Parker, he aggravates me. He aggravates me so much. He's so much. so much he thinks he knows. Like, I don't think that guy knows anything about sports. Like, I don't know what he's an expert in, but it pains me to listen to him. Like, it pisses me off. But, again, Mayweather, in my mind, minimum 85% chance of winning. And I don't give Conor a good chance. And I feel like I have to defend him to, like I feel like when I defend him, people think I think he's going to win. I think he has a chance, a better chance than most people think. I'm not going to go as far as Brendan Schaub and say, like, bet my money, like, obviously, like, not straight up, like, bet my money, like, yep, Conor's going to win. But he has been doing this. And the big thing that he's got, those other guys don't have that Floyd's boxed, they were going up against the best boxer in the world, and they weren't sure if they could beat him. Even if Conor can't beat him in a boxing match, Conor McGregor is not going to get thrown off that it's Floyd Mayweather, because he knows, and every person on planet Earth knows, that if they were to meet in an alley, like, Conor knows that he can kick Floyd's ass. Like, he could kick. He might not be able to beat him in a boxing match, but in a fight, he could beat him. I'm not saying, like, just if they met in the back alley, just them two, not his 18 bodyguards that Floyd's always with, like, Conor would just murder him. Like, it wouldn't even be fair. Like, he would just beat the piss out of Floyd. So, like, Floyd's not going to get in his head that way, because he knows, and no matter what happens, he can always say, yeah, but Floyd, I could beat you in a fight. Like, Floyd's talking a lot of trash about, I'll take you in the octagon. No, you won't. You won't step foot in the octagon. You would lose in 30 seconds, because the difference between if it was the reverse role, Floyd has zero base in anything outside of boxing. No kickboxing, no jiu-jitsu, no wrestling. Whereas Conor has a base in boxing. Has a base. He probably does most of he probably trains more in the stand-up. Obviously, he throws a lot of kicks when he's doing stand-up, but he is more of a base in the stand-up game than anything else. So it's not like he's just learning intricacies of the boxing game. Like, Floyd would have to learn everything else. So, like, in a UFC fight or in an MMA fight, Conor would take Floyd down, he would mount him, and he would cave his face in. And he would have a 0% chance, because Floyd doesn't know anything else, doesn't know how to defend himself in any other way. Conor knows how to defend himself in a boxing ring, and he knows how to throw punches, and he knows how to angle. That's why it's different. So people that say, oh, it would be the same thing if Floyd went to the octagon. No, it's not. You're stupid. Listen to what you just said. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. Conor does all of this, and he's just condensing it into one. Floyd does one, it would have to learn everything else. That's the difference. Again, not defending, but I feel like I have to defend Conor. And I just bought from Barstool Sports a nice 49-in-1 tank top. Spent $25, $30 with shipping and handling. So that might be a one-time investment if Conor doesn't win. So I'm kind of hoping he does the impossible and pulls it off, because then I could wear that all the time. But obviously, if Floyd goes 50-0, I'm not going to wear a tank top that says 49 Shamrock 1 if it's not true. But been talking a long time with those set-up bench presses. That was the cutoff. But my point is, if you are going to, don't buy in to these people that don't know what they're talking about. And I mean, I know more. I could give you a better argument than some of these idiots for this particular subject than these idiots that you see. Well, not idiots, I like a lot of them, but that you see on ESPN talking about it, and Fox Sports 1. These guys that aren't experts, they're not boxing experts, they're not MMA experts, they're just there. And I feel like what I've listened to, the MMA experts are a lot more open. They're like, Floyd will probably win, but, Conor can do this, this, and this. Whereas the boxing experts are just like, nah, Floyd's going to win, Conor has no chance. But find guys like Joe Rogan, like, he's got good insight. Like, people that watch both sports will give you the best insight as to what could possibly happen on Conor's side and why Floyd's so good. Like, those are the people you listen to. You don't listen to Skip Bayless. You definitely don't listen to Colin Cowherd. He just says stuff, and I like listening to him because he says outlandish shit. But when it comes to this, like, he has no idea what he's talking about. I'm not even sure if he knows where a mixed martial arts fight takes place. Like, I don't think he's ever watched a fight, man. I don't. And for him to break it down and to compare it to a 16 seed beating a 1, which has never happened, is just stupid. And I get it, like, no one's ever beaten Floyd, but this is a completely different guy who knows how to just throw punches. He knows how to do stand-up. He knows how to throw punches. And it's going to be something that Floyd has never seen before. People are like, boxing experts. And I keep talking. I can talk about this all day. Boxing experts. Floyd's seen everything. Yes, he's seen everything from pro boxers. This Conor McGregor is not a pro boxer, but he can throw fists. I say this. I don't know how much of a boxer he is. I don't know how good of a boxer he is, but I know he could throw fists like no one else on planet Earth. Like, he throws hands very well. And if he could just learn the little intricacies, and if he could learn how to, he angles off in mixed martial arts so well. He sets traps and angles off so well. So if he could learn how to do that in a boxing ring, which I would imagine he could, it's going to be obviously different with ropes, and you can lean on the ropes, and that's going to be tough to get used to in 8 months. But I mean, he's sparring, I forget how many rounds his coach said, but they're sparring like 4 times as much as they do for a mixed martial arts fight. I don't know if that's going to be a benefit or a disadvantage for him, but people will be surprised. And I'm gonna piggyback on what other people say. Like, if Conor's going to do it, it's gonna, like, he's not going to win a decision against Floyd. He's not. He's either going to land punches and hurt Floyd and finish the job in the first 6 rounds, first half of the fight, or Floyd's going to piece him up towards the end. Like, that's how it's going to go. Or, I mean, if right from the get-go, if Floyd's on him right from round 1, like, there is a chance. Like, I get it. Floyd's never knocked anyone out, hasn't knocked anyone out. But if Conor comes rushing in, and Floyd just throws a glove up there, he can knock him out. That's how it goes. I don't think Conor will, but if he does, that's going to be uncharacteristic because he doesn't rush in against anyone. And the big thing is, 12 rounds of boxing, he gasses out in MMA. He gassed out twice. Fighting at a weight that's not his natural weight. He was literally eating more than he probably would like to keep weight on. And that will, when you're holding more weight than you should, you are obviously not going to have the gas tank that you should. You're not going to have the endurance you normally would. And he was eating to try to be as close to 170. And I think that, if he ever fights at 170 again, obviously he'd be giving up weight. Like, if you ever fought a Tyrone Woodley who cuts to 170, goes into the octagon probably 190, 200, like, I would say, like, Conor, probably come in and just eat normal, eat like you think you need to eat, and, come in at 163 or something, and you'll probably have a better gas tank. But obviously, giving up 30 pounds to a guy like Tyrone Woodley, who's just jacked and so much power, like, that wouldn't work out well. But he gassed in those fights when he was trying to hold on to more weight than he should have, because he wanted to be as big as possible. And he came out that first Diaz fight just throwing everything into his punches, like everything. If he does that against Floyd, he will gas. And people are like, oh man, Diaz rocked him. Think about it. When you're gassed and you can't catch your breath and then you get hit, like, yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to stun you when you're gassed than when you're fresh. So he was completely gassed and he got hit, and it stunned him. Like, it's not, if they're fresh, if that's round 1, Diaz throws that punch, it's not stunning him. Like, people don't get it. Like, I do this, like, I know a lot about the body, and I've worked out, and I know what it's like to be tired, and I could just put myself in that perspective. If I go out to the track, run 20 sprints, balls to the wall sprints, and then I let someone throw a 65% punch, 65 to their strength punch, it's probably going to knock me out. Like, it probably will, because your brain at that point is just trying to get oxygen, and then you throw it. Like, it's just going to stun you. Like, people don't get it because they've never been there. Most of the people are like, he gasses. Like, you've never exercised a day in your life, so you wouldn't know what you're looking at when you see a guy who literally can't breathe, is trying to catch his breath, and then he gets hit. Like, it's not because Diaz is so powerful. He's not a bad boxer, but it's not because he was so powerful or because, he has no chin. It's because he was gassed. And he gassed because he was trying to hold on to too much weight. So I think in a 12-round fight, if he comes out like Diaz won and just tries to throw bombs for the first 3 rounds and just throws a lot of them and misses, yeah, he's going to gas, and it's probably not going to go well. It's probably not going to, and if Floyd jumps on him, Floyd probably will get him out of there. But I don't think he's going to do that because outside of Diaz 1, he's never really done that. And if you go back, see, this is another thing. Like, I watch a lot of things, heard his coach talk that Diaz won fight after he beat Aldo. He kind of just did his own thing, was training on his own, and didn't have a set schedule, and was kind of undisciplined. Like, you listen to his coach said that after Diaz won, and he went out there and he fought like he was undisciplined. And he came into Diaz 2 and was a lot more disciplined, hooked up with his trainer again, got on the same schedule, was very routine and regimented, and looked very, very good. And still gassed because he was holding on to too much weight, more weight than he should have. That's what happens. But he looked good. And then Eddie Alvarez didn't gas at all, picked him apart through great combinations. Like, people that don't think he can box, go back and watch that 4-punch combination that put Eddie Alvarez out and tell me he can't box. Like, that's a combination that I've seen watching Mayweather fights. Like, guys come at him, they throw a 1-2, and that's it. They don't keep coming at him. Like, I think Conor McGregor will throw more than 2 punches. Like, he'll come at him with a 4. He'll angle off in weird angles. I hope he takes that wide stance. He's going to switch a lot of stance. Like, there's unknowns that people can't really say definitively, he's got no chance, because you don't know. I don't know. I give him, because of that unknown, I give him a 15% chance of winning. Comes out and tries to box Floyd Mayweather, that goes down to 0.5% chance of winning. I don't know. You don't know. The guys that talk about every sport sure as hell don't know. You could watch firsthand. Obviously, Kellerman, that's what he does. He's a boxing guy. Stephen A. Smith, he is a boxing guy too. He watches boxing. I don't know if he watches too much MMA. I don't think Kellerman watches MMA, which is, he probably should go back and watch some MMA fights. And I'm sure he probably has watched Conor fights once this fight got announced. But all these other guys, Calvert, Rob Parker, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, these people that don't know, like, I can't listen to them. You shouldn't listen to them. Go watch the fight. Pay the $100. Because if something crazy happens, you'll regret it if you didn't pay the $100, and enjoy it. Embrace it. It's the biggest sporting event, and it's right now on paper, biggest sporting event of our lifetimes. And if Conor somehow does the impossible, it will be the biggest sporting event that you will ever see. It will be, where were you when that fight happened? And if you don't pay the $100 and you don't see it, it's not going to be as good. I have a wedding. I'm going to go buck wild after that, and I'm pulling for the Irish guy. But don't listen to stupid people. Don't be one of those stupid people. That's my rant over.